Hey Patrick, what are you doing after we graduate from school?
Gee, Adam, that's a good question, but I have no idea. I was looking into jobs in the environmental field, but it seems like there's so many options. I wonder if we know anyone who can help us out.
Well, I'm an environmental studies minor here at BC, and I know of a few people who are looking to keep it green when considering their jobs.
Yeah, I know some CSOM kids trying to keep it green too, but I'm not sure if it's the same kind of green.
Well, let's find out!
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
It's a great question about the notion of green jobs, because I think that what we tend to do is we tend to think of green jobs as in our really sort of compressed into a particular sort of space, and I think green jobs are expanding across a very, very wide spectrum, across all levels of educational attainment. So I think that there are green jobs that are at the sort of grassroots level, literally working in green space, altering environments, planting trees, managing landscape strategies, all the way up to the highest levels of planning and academy. So when we think about where the options are, I think the options are spread very, very broadly. And you know, we have a dedicated commitment by the Obama administration to commit a certain proportion of these stimulus funds to green job development. And so I think almost all of the sectors of business and society that are related to either vocational discernment or training are retooling themselves to think about how we make green jobs available. Now, as far as a geographic area, I think that any area that is highly urbanized is going to have the highest probability for expansion into green jobs. Because when we think about the sort of key aspect of green jobs, is that not only are they helping the environment, but they're trying to create sustainable living environments for humans.
Actually, I grew up in a place that was very green, very rural. So that started, just intrinsic interest in that. And then when I got to college, I took a class, environmental sociology, and I read a lot about it. I realized what a problem it was, and then I read this one book, Natural Capitalism, and it kind of had a capitalistic way to fix it. So I said, let's get into green business, and it kind of started from there.
First of all, I think those of us in the environmental field have felt, in some respects, like second-class citizens in the business world or in the professional field. And remember, the compensation packages that are provided people are only going to be as good as people demand. And so I think one of the great aspects of the awareness of the importance of green jobs is that I think that there's a generation of young people like yourselves who aren't going to have to choose between doing meaningful work and having respectable level compensation.
All right, so our question is, would you consider working an environmental job?
Maybe at some point, but not right now because I need to pay off my debt.
Yeah, so is money like a major reason why?
I mean, I don't think money's a major reason in terms of like life satisfaction, but as of right now, I'm not going to get far without paying off my debts and kind of, making some money.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money.
Certainly seeing an increase in the amount of undergraduate interest in the environmental field in general. The environmental studies program now has 165 minors registered for it, which is essentially a doubling in the past 4 years. And I think there's a recognition across all levels of scholarship that sustainability and environmental knowledge needs to be infused in almost any choice that we make. So because of that, I think that there's less of a gender bias than there might be. But as the field is maturing and the resources that are available for career choices, I think you're seeing a change and a commitment across a much broader array of people to be involved in the environmental movement. Because it's not just a choice between being, in a traditional job or the counterculture. The environment's no longer the counterculture. environmental concern, green jobs, and sustainability is moving mainstream.
So our question is, would you consider working in an environmental job?
Yes,
Why?
because I think it's important to preserve the environment not only for ourselves but for our future generations, and I think it's a normal thing to do to preserve the environment. There's so much that you can do, and there's so many different kinds of aspects within an environmental job, so one would be really interesting, one would be really helpful.
Do you think you'd make enough money in it?
I want to go to youth ministry, so I'm not out for money anyway. I think I would make it work. That's what I was passionate about.
We have a number of institutions that have emerged or grown over the past few years. We have Eco Pledge and Sustain BC and departments like sociology and biology and geology and geophysics that are committing more curriculum. We have programs like the Environmental Studies program, which have been beating this drum for a long time, and now we're seeing a doubling of the number of students involved. So in that sense, I think we're seeing a significant growth in the overall awareness and commitment. Do I think it's enough? No. I think compared to other universities, we still don't offer enough services to our students.
Well, Adam, that was intriguing.
Yeah, Patrick. Hopefully we can find jobs now.